Hey there, what's up guys? My name is Useless Mango and I'd like to welcome you all to today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, where I'm going to be giving you guys my best guesses as to how much money you're going to need for when Rockstar do eventually release the hidden Cunning Stunts vehicles from the game files into GTA Online. So as always with these kind of videos, just know that none of this information is confirmed by anyone. The prices we're going to be discussing today are purely my best guesses, and you should only use this video as a rough guide to help you get prepared until we get some solid information from either Rockstar or from the tunables. And if you do go on to enjoy the video or you find it interesting or helpful at all, then do be sure to drop the video a like rating, and if you are new around here and you like my GTA 5 content, then why not hit that subscribe button? It only takes 2 seconds and it means that you won't miss any of my future uploads. Now with that out of the way, let's get it started. Okay, so if you have no idea what I'm talking about when I talk about hidden and unreleased cars, then I do have a video up on my channel showing off the customization for these hidden cars in GTA 5 single player. So if you haven't already, then I do recommend that you go watch it so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyways, we actually have 6 vehicles that we're going to be discussing today, as one car that I didn't show off in my customization video was the custom Sprunk Buffalo. So like the stock cars that we got in GTA Online with Cunning Stunts, we are eventually going to be able to get the full set of stock race vehicles from single player when we eventually get the addition of the Sprunk Buffalo in Grand Theft Auto Online. Right, so as you probably know, the 6 unreleased vehicles that as of now we're not expecting until we receive an update on August 2nd for the Cunning Stunts creator are the Declasse Drift Tampa, the Western Cliffhanger, the Vapid Contender, the Ocelot Lynx, the Rally Truck, and obviously the Bravado Sprunk Buffalo. Now I'm going to get this started with the Rally Truck since there's no customization available for it. But thanks to some users on the GTA forums, we can now see the 2 different liveries that are going to be available for the Rally Truck, and I'll show the images to you guys now. So as we can see, there's going to be this Globe Oil themed livery with a bunch of other brands and sponsors on there, and there's also this Fukaru themed one, again with a bunch of other brands and sponsors on it too. Now as with the cars that we currently have from the Cunning Stunts update that have 2 livery options, I don't think there's going to be a difference in price between the 2 liveries, and I'm going to base the price of this truck off of the Brigade, which in GTA Online costs $1.11 million. And since the Rally Truck looks like a shorter version of the Brigade, I'm going to put the cost of the Rally Truck at a reasonable $1 million. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the cars that we are actually going to be able to customize in the Los Santos Customs, and first up we have the new Declasse Drift Tampa. Now bearing in mind that the normal Tampa costs $375,000 and this one comes pre-modified to make it the Drift Tampa, I'm going to say that this vehicle is going to be significantly more expensive, maybe leading upwards of $600,000 or $700,000. So I'm going to put the cost to initially purchase the Drift Tampa in between these and say it'll be an even $650,000. Now bearing in mind that because we have the customization in single player available to us, we can see how much as a minimum the cost of the customization is going to be, because as we all know, the cost of single player customization is always significantly cheaper than in online. But because there isn't that much customization available for this particular vehicle, I'm going to say that on top of the $650,000 for buying the car, you're going to need about $300,000 extra to spend on fully upgrading it. This brings our overall cost for the Declasse Drift Tampa to $950,000. And now we get onto our next vehicle, and now we get to the new Vapid Contender. And I think the bulk of the money for this vehicle is going to go towards initially buying it, as there's next to no aesthetic upgrades and the rest are just armor, brakes, engine and so on. So to initially purchase this vehicle, I think that you're going to need about $400,000. Now I say this because, to me, the closest resembling vehicle already in-game is the Vapid Guardian, and since these 2 vehicles come from the same in-game manufacturer, I think this is a very reasonable price since the Guardian, like the Tampa, costs $375,000. Now in terms of customization, as I said, there's next to none of it available, so I'm going to say that you're not going to need any more than $200,000 for the upgrades. And most of this is going to go towards engine tunes, brake and transmission upgrades, as well as turbo tuning and other options just to protect the vehicle and make it quicker. So my overall prediction for the cost of the Contender is $600,000. And now we're moving on to the new Western Cliffhanger, which doesn't have a whole lot of customization either, and the fact that it's a bike leads me to believe that it's not going to be the most expensive thing in the game. So I think that for a base price before upgrades, $150,000 is a believable and reasonable price to put it at. And like before, there isn't a whole lot of customization available, so I'm going to say that it will be the same if not very similar to the Contender and will cost you about $200,000. bringing our final cost to $350,000. So now I'm going to move it on to the Bravado Sprunk Buffalo that we discussed at the beginning of the video. Now the rest of the stock cars that have been added to GTA Online were either around the $200,000 mark, or if you're a returning player from last gen, then you could purchase them for free. And I can almost guarantee that the same principle will apply here. I think that the car will cost around the $200,000 mark, or for returning players it will be free. Now for customization, I doubt there's going to be a lot, if any. There won't be any other livery options, otherwise it's just a normal Buffalo. So for this reason, again I'm going to put it at $200,000, just so that there's enough to cover the cost of fully customizing this car. With this as the customization cost, this brings my overall prediction of the cost for the Bravado Sprunk Buffalo to $400,000. And now we can finally move on to our last but certainly not least vehicle, which is the Ocelot Lynx. And I don't think this car is going to be on the cheaper end like some of the other cars we've discussed on this list, and because of this I'm going to put the cost of the car itself at about $700,000. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually costs more when it's finally released in GTA Online. Now we know that this car does actually have a fair bit of customization because we've got the ability to mod it into single player, so for the customization of this car, I'm going to say that you're going to need at least another $300,000 to $400,000. So let's put it right in the middle and say an even $350,000 for customization. So this brings our overall cost of the Lynx to $1,050,000. And now onto our totals. If you buy every car that we know will be coming out, I predict that you're going to need about $4,350,000 if you're not a returning player and therefore cannot get the Bravado Sprunk Buffalo for free. Now I don't know if the customization is free for any of the stock cars that have been added to GTA Online, so if it is free and you are a returning player, then expect to need about $3,950,000. But if customization isn't free, then I think you'll need about $4,150,000 instead. Alright, so I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. What do you think of the prices I've discussed in this video? Do you have a different opinion as to how much these cars and their full customization is going to cost? And when do you think Rockstar are going to release these hidden cars in online? As always, be sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below. Okay, so that's all I've got for you guys today. If you did go on to enjoy the video or you found it interesting or helpful at all, then do be sure to drop the video a like rating, and if you are new around here and you like my GTA 5 content, then why not hit that subscribe button? It only takes 2 seconds and it means that you won't miss any of my future uploads. Now with that said, I want to thank you guys for watching, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next video.